Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our Parish of Rayleigh morning prayer for today, Tuesday, the 6th of April. It is 2 days after Easter Sunday, and Jesus is alive. Let's join together now in prayer. So, as we enter prayer now, we pause to be still, to breathe slowly, to recenter our scattered senses upon the presence of God. Lord Jesus, open our eyes to see you alive, present and powerful today. Spirit, infuse all we say and do with the hope of resurrection life. Using today the model of Lectio 365 again. So we now rejoice and reflect. And we choose to rejoice in the peace that we can find in the protection of God today, joining in the ancient cry of all God's people in words from Psalm 116, verses 1 and 2, which say this: I love the Lord because he hears my voice and my prayer for mercy. Because he bends down to listen, I will pray as long as I have breath. Today we reflect on the first glimpse of the risen Jesus, not to awed crowds or with fanfare and ceremony, but in quiet intimacy with a broken-hearted friend. We find Mary Magdalene at the tomb, looking for Jesus. Instead, she's shocked and upset to find his body is gone, and in its place are two angels. Reading from John chapter 20, verse 13. The angels asked her, Woman, why are you crying? They've taken my Lord away, she said, and I don't know where they've put him. At this, she turned round and saw Jesus standing there, but she did not realize that it was Jesus. He asked her, Woman, why are you crying? Who is it you're looking for? Thinking he was the gardener, she said, Sir, if you have carried him away, tell me where you put him, and I will get him. Jesus said to her, Mary. She turned towards him and cried out in Aramaic, Rabboni, which means teacher. Jesus said, Do not hold on to me, for I have not yet ascended to the Father. Go instead to my brothers and tell them, I am ascending to my Father and your Father, to my God and your God. And moments before this encounter, both Peter and John were also at the tomb with Mary. Upon finding it empty, the two men leave and rush home, but Mary chooses to stay. She pauses and makes space and time for her tears. Mary's decision to stay and wait for a while in her grief affords her the most remarkable encounter with the risen Jesus as he interrupts the quiet intimacy of her tears and then speaks her name. Now we ask God, do we make space for tears? Do we allow time for our emotions or the emotions of others? Lord God, we consciously pause now and we notice how we are feeling today. Help us to sense your presence and hear your voice. Pause for a moment. And like Mary standing at an empty tomb, do we know anyone standing by an empty bed or an empty armchair today, grieving the loss of a loved one? Jesus, gently speak their name. Interrupt the intimacy of their tears and bring them comfort. Let's pray now for anyone who's come to our minds. And now we yield ourselves to God again. And as we return to the passage, we open our eyes to hear your word and our hearts to yield to your will once again. Reading again from John chapter 20. The angels asked her, "Woman, why are you crying?" "They have taken my Lord away," she said, "and I don't know where they put him." At this, she turned round and saw Jesus standing there, but she did not realize that it was Jesus. He asked her, "Woman, why are you crying? Who is it you're looking for?" Thinking he was the gardener, she said, "Sir, if you've carried him away, tell me where you put him, and I will get him." Jesus said to her, "Mary." She turned towards him and cried out in Aramaic, "Rabboni," which means teacher. Jesus said, "Do not hold on to me, for I have not yet ascended to the Father. Go instead to my brothers and tell them, I am ascending to my Father and your Father, to my God and your God." Mary, consumed by her grief, had no idea that she was about to encounter the risen Jesus. Even when he stands right before her, her tear-soaked eyes are slow to truly see the one who sees her. The Bible often talks about God seeing us in our grief, storing up our tears, being deeply moved by our pain, and eventually wiping every tear from our eyes with his own hand. He is the God who sees us in these moments of solitude, when we pull back from the crowd and allow the tears to flow. Jesus, I thank you that my tears don't go unnoticed. I surrender now to your presence. I hear you speak my name and am reminded that I am seen, known, and loved. And so now, as we prepare to take this time of prayer into the coming day, the Lord who loves us says in Isaiah 43, "Do not fear, for I have redeemed you. I have summoned you by name. You are mine." And a closing prayer. Father, help us to live this day to the full, being true to you in every way. Jesus, help us to give ourselves away to others, being kind to everyone we meet. Spirit, help us to love the lost, proclaiming Christ in all we do and say. Amen. So thank you for joining us this morning for our morning prayer, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. God bless.